Alrighty, Wheels, this one is for you. This is a 30,000 foot view of how to go from a pre-PT to a DPT as quickly and efficiently as possible. Wheels is one of my aides or techs where I work at ATI Physical Therapy, and she asked the great question of, hey, am I doing all this right? Do I have my timelines right with different things? What do I need to make sure I get done and in what order? And this is a video that I wanted to create for her, and I know so many other pre-PTs have this. It's just to kind of help you orient yourself and get the lay of the land for when should I be doing certain things? When's the best time to do certain things? Please don't freak out if your timeline is different than this and you're watching this now thinking, oh, I didn't do this exactly when Sean's recommending. This is an ideal situation. There's a lot of different ways to get there. Some people don't know they're going to pursue physical therapy until later in their academic career. So this is just the ideal setting if you know that you want to be a physical therapist right when you start your undergraduate education. Okay, so if we start off right here, first and foremost, the things I would recommend is researching DPT programs that you want to attend. You're going to do that heavily your freshman to sophomore year, and you're going to continue to evaluate these, but really make sure that you dig in and you do your research early when you are preparing to apply. So that way you can decide which programs you like the best, which ones are the least expensive, have the highest pass rate, and fit in your value system, okay? So from your freshman to your senior year, you're going to focus on taking your prerequisite courses. This is another reason why it's so important to research the DPT programs that you want to apply to, because each program has a slight variation in the prerequisite courses that you're going to need to take. Most of them, I'd say 90% of DPT programs, if you focus on getting anatomy, physiology, chemistry, physics, statistics, psychology, and biology, you're going to cover your bases. But it's really important to make sure that you aren't assuming that you've covered your bases and to make sure you actually are doing that, okay? So research your programs, identify the prereqs you need to take, and then you're going to take those prereqs from your freshman to your senior year. The only thing that needs to happen is you need to have all of your prerequisites completed by the time you are preparing to start your DPT program. This should be obvious, but if your DPT program starts in, let's say, August, and you graduate in April, you need to make sure all prerequisites are done before you start in August, okay? Then you have observation hours and extracurricular activities. The reason why we focus on obtaining these during your freshman to junior year is it allows you to spread out your hours across those different areas and to make it easier for you and less stressful, and to optimize your experiences there. And the reason also why we focus on freshman to junior year is the ideal time or the earliest time that you can submit your PTCAS application is the summer between your junior and your senior year. So if we pack as much goodness as possible into your freshman to junior years, that's where we're going to be able to put the most on your experiences section and get as many observation hours as possible that you can upload onto your PTCAS application. And it allows you to take a little bit of a break your senior year. Not to say that you shouldn't continue to do good things, but this freshman to junior year is your intensive period where you're really working hard to window dress and get as much goodness on your application as possible. Now, taking the GRE. Ideally, or most applicants take the GRE from May to June after they finish their last semester of their junior year. So this is going to give you enough time that if you need to, you potentially could retake the GRE. You can retake it every 21 days if you need to. But you're going to take the GRE in May or June. Obviously, there can be some variation in this. Let's say you got a summer vacation or you've got a friend's wedding. This is also when people are usually going to study more intensively for the GRE, is during this time frame as well. And again, this is a rough estimate. But a caveat for this is scores for the GRE are good for up to 5 years. So as long as you are staying within that window of when you're applying and that 5-year range, you can take the GRE whenever you have the best availability in your schedule. There's nothing content-wise on the GRE that's harder than anything you learned in high school. It's mostly just remembering and then also learning the strategies, and we've got a lot of videos that talk about that. All right, and then the summer between your junior and senior year, in mid-June, PTCAS is going to open, and then it's go time. It's time to start filling out your application. Ideally, we recommend that applicants complete their PTCAS application the start of their fall semester, before the start of their fall semester of their senior year. Kind of the cutoff date I give applicants is if you can get your application submitted before Labor Day, you're usually in really good shape. And this just allows you to not have to worry about finishing up applications and doing school at the same time. It just makes your life a lot easier, okay? And then after you submit your application, you're going to start hearing back from DPT programs, whether they have program interviews or they're going to be extending acceptance offers. So DPT program interviews are going to be held as early as the beginning of September all the way through March of your senior year. And acceptance offers are going to be extended also during that time period, whether you are involved in interviews or if the program doesn't participate in interviews, they also can just extend acceptance offers during that a similar time frame, September up into April. We've heard as even late as May or June, which is kind of crazy, but hey, that's how it goes. But most offers are extended September to April of your senior year. And then you graduate the spring of your senior year from undergraduate, and then you complete all necessary prerequisites. And from May is the earliest typically DPT programs start, all the way up until September. After graduating your undergrad, you're going to begin your 2.5 to 3 year DPT program. We're going to zoom forward a little bit. If you're looking at your DPT program is 2.5 to 3 years, the quarter before you graduate from your DPT program, you can take the NPTE. Usually it's not more than 120 days before you graduate from school is when most programs will allow you to take it. It has to be approved by your school and different things like that. So the NPTE is able to be taken at the end of January, April, July, and October. That's when it's administered. And you want to make sure that you have that on your timeline horizon. So if I was going to graduate in May, I would ideally like to take the NPTE likely in April. That's most likely when I would take it if I'm graduating in May. And if I graduate in December, I could take it in October, or if you really want to wait until after you graduate so you can study more intensively, you can also take it the quarter after you graduate. Excuse me. But this, again, is an ideal video to get you to your DPT degree and being able to have your license so you can practice as soon as possible. And then from May to December is when most people graduate. So 2.5 to 3 years after you start your DPT program, you're going to graduate the May to December of that time frame at the end of that. And then you'll have your DPT degree. You'll also have your license, and that will enable you to then start practicing. So this is the 30,000 foot view. If your timeline does not match mine exactly, don't panic, don't freak out. This is just, if you're a brand new freshman, you know you want to become a physical therapist, and you're watching this video for the first time, this gives you a better idea of when you're going to start doing all these different activities. If you have additional questions, or you're looking to help create a personalized application plan for yourself with experts who have more than 11 years of experience coaching pre-PTs, helping them get into DPT programs all across the country, go ahead and message us, send us a DM. We'd love to connect with you. And also put some comments down below if you do have additional questions. We'd love to answer them for you. Thanks, guys. Hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and happy applying.